Hey, Ron Howe here coming at you. Just a little springtime tips, man. I mean, it's practically April, right? We're at the very end of March out here in California. We kind of had almost like a spring winter, but don't fool yourself. The fish they're doing their things right on the time they're going to do them, right? So there's going to be a good bite that goes from spring all the way through post-spawn into early summer. And really you can catch them on this bait all year long, but it really excels this time of year. Just your color schemes and things change a little bit. But we're going to talk just a little bit for a couple minutes here about springtime spinnerbait fishing, right? And very simple here. We're talking about fishing lakes. You can be fishing the California Delta too, and this will work well there as well, but really excels on lakes, and specifically as we're talking about using a 3/4 ounce spinnerbait. I will tell you, over the years, fishing lakes, and when I was having a lot of success and competing well in the tournaments, I fished as a tournament angler 30 plus years and was always in the top of the points, fishing for AOIs. If I wasn't winning them, I was close, right? In the pro-ams and pros for years, I was top 30 in the championships, top 30 for the season. So out here in California, that's pretty consistent fishing. And I will tell you, a 3/4 ounce spinnerbait was how I got a lot of bites, key bites, right? These quality bass, even to big ones, love a spinnerbait. So I want to show you spinnerbait, not a lot of people hear about. And it's a blade I was using the last couple years, doing really well with, and I really, really like. And I fished, mind you, if you look behind me, I got so many spinnerbaits, sometimes I don't know what to do with them all. I'm very specific about a way a spinnerbait feels when I'm turning the handle and how it just sends that communication back to me, the fisherman, right? Right into my rod, right into my handle. And some spinnerbaits just feel really, really good. So today, we're really focusing on lakes, folks. Deps, right there. It's called the B Custom 3/4 ounce. You can see that they got an eyeball on the blades. The blades have hammer pattern for scales, only on the front, not on the back. 3/4 ounce. This is a really naked shad looking color. They call it green crystal. So, if I'm not fishing green crystal, I'm fishing something with purple and shad in it, and that's it. And then the only difference is whether I'm adding chartreuse or not. And there's a lot of ways you can do that. You can either buy your spinnerbait with some chartreuse in the skirt, or you can get creative with a dip and dye pen and put that stuff into your spinnerbait trailer. And I use two different kinds of trailers at the end of the day. Predominantly, I like a split tail, just a split tail, real simple, or I like swim bait stuff, right? But I don't want a swim bait that's so big that it drags the spinnerbait down, because then that messes up your action of why you're using a 3/4 ounce. I'm using a 3/4 ounce because I want to be bumping the structure. It is key. I'm not reeling the spinnerbait, reeling halfway through the water column, catching suspended fish. Can I do that? Sure. Have I done that? Thousands of times. Truth is, 3/4 ounce is to get that spinnerbait bumping the bottom, okay? Clear Lake, Oroville out here in California, New Maloney's, Don Pedro, Shasta, McClure, like all those, I've wrecked them on a 3/4 ounce spinnerbait. So here is the Deps, and what you'll see here is it's tipped with a bleeding red, and you could tell I've been catching them on that thing. The paint's all knocked off. That is a bleeding red Daiichi stinger hook, okay? The swim bait trailer I'm using, very specific here. You notice it doesn't get thicker through the body. It really matches the profile of the head. This is the Optimum Baits Opti Shad. It is a smaller profiled plastic with a big kick tail. So you get a lot of great wobbling action, but you're not sticking this bulky trailer in front of it that changes the dynamic of the 3/4 ounce spinnerbait, right? So I really like these Opti Shads as a trailer on the back of the Deps B Custom. Gotta have my Daiichi red stinger. If you go out and you set your spinnerbaits up like this, get this B Custom, trust me, it's worth the money. Get out there this spring, all the way into post-spawn in summer. A spinnerbait's gonna catch a lot of fish, and it'll catch big fish. So get yourself a 3/4 ounce, B Custom. Look at the Optimum Baits Opti Shad for a slimmer profile body, but with a big kick tail. And of course, you can't go wrong with your Daiichi stinger. And there's two ways to ring that stinger, so we'll talk about that for a second. Now, you can either put that hook, so I'll show you here on my messed up finger. That actually that's a scab from a hook that was stuck in my finger a few weeks ago. It's just healing. Had a treble in my finger the wrong way. I had to go to the hospital to get it out. But back on the stinger hook. You can rig it how I have this one rigged, which this day I was keeping the hook pinned inside the rubber, but it's not in the rubber. So what I do is I stick that little red rubber shank one hook for the spinnerbait through, I poke it all the way out, and then I put my hook on, and then I push the other side of the rubber over. So my hook is not in the rubber, it's just completely free on the hook. See if I can get it right for you here. There's the angle you want to see. My hook is completely free in there. It is not connected to the rubber. So that way, if a fish is grabbing it, shaking their head, they got full freedom. This spinnerbait hook can go all the way around. The rubber's not stopping it from spinning. It's just keeping it in place, right? So you get a spotted bass, want to come up and nip that tail, look at exactly where I got that hook at, okay? Another thing you can do is you can take a treble hook, get your two hooks facing up, you can crimp the bottom barb off and have a shorter stinger with two on the back. That works really good for spotted bass that get nippy or bass when they're finicky on cold fronts. So again, some spinnerbait tips here from Ron Howe, but I promise you will put more fish in the boat. Check out Daiichi, Bleeding Red. It'll get you more bites, and get that 3/4 ounce Deps Be Custom so you catch big fish this spring and the rest of your life. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed a little time here in the Tackle Shack. See ya.